Beautiful, fam. So once again, welcome to day 2 of the Manifest Unity Summit. I've got an amazing human being waiting for me in the back room right now, which I'm going to bring on in a couple of minutes. She goes by the name of Gabby Kowalski. If you are familiar with Gabby, drop a heart below, show her some love. Gabby's been a good friend of mine now for a few years and has been an inspiration to myself in the past. She is a visionary. She's a thought leader. She's a self-made millionaire and the founder of Gabby Kowalski Global, which is a company that is devoted to supporting the ascension of the earth and the ascension of humanity. So you can see that our missions are so aligned, which is why we've done a lot of collaborative work in the past. And Gabby is a speaker. She's a quantum coach. She's a 5D business ascension coach and abundance mentor. And she's the creator of the New Earth Mission Collective, the Quantum Magic School, and the Divine Abundance Codex. She's got over 20 years of experience, and she's been immersed in personal development, spiritual and professional evolution. And her mission and passion is to support New Earth leaders to bring in the new Earth. So for those of you that were a part of our previous events in 2020, the New Earth online retreats, she was actually a part of all 3 of those events. And you can see why, because we've got the exact same mission. And she's really here to support other people and leaders, awakening leaders, live a life of profound abundance, soul mission, and co-creation, which again, this is what we're all about. So I'm very excited to have Gabby here today. And the reason why I love having these powerful consciousness expanding conversations with Gabby is because she is the embodiment of what she teaches. She is the embodiment of all of these things that she teaches. And I think that's so important during these times to practice what you preach and to preach what you practice, because that is the way that we truly lead by example. And we've had so many expansive conversations in the past. Some of you may watching right now or listening right now may have been a part of those previous conversations and those previous classes that we've done together. And what I've found through having these powerful conversations with Gabby is they are multidimensional. And what I mean by that is, Gabby and myself and all of us, we're all multidimensional beings, which basically means that we are more than this human body. And many of us are unaware of this. A lot of us are identified with the body and identified with matter and physicality, which is a natural part of the conscious evolutionary process. But it gets to a certain point in our journey where we realize that we're actually much greater than just this physical avatar body. We're actually multidimensional, energetic beings having the human experience. And that's why every time I collaborate together with Gabby, we have these conversations which really help us and help the people awaken to that truth of who we truly are. And I think during these times, we're experiencing mass global awakening, and that's exactly what we are all experiencing. We're experiencing that awakening, not just on a global level within the events and the systems of society, but we're also experiencing that on an internal, visceral level as we awaken to who we truly are and we discover what our purpose is during these times. So I'm excited for today, fam. Gabby is an amazing speaker. She's influential. She's motivational. She's inspired me in the past. And I know she's going to be able to deliver some magic for you guys today, which is going to help take you to that next level within your own ascension journey and your own soul's evolution. So without further ado, fam, I want you guys to give her some love. Drop a heart below, tap the thumbs up button, the heart button, whatever it is that you need to do to show Gabby some love and welcome her into the space as we bring her on now. Virtual drum roll.
Woohoo! Oh, hello, beautiful souls. It's so beautiful to be here. And we're here. It's day 2. Yay!
We're here. Welcome back. So good to have you back in the space. I love these conversations. We were just chatting before we jumped on here, And I'm so excited for this today because I feel like everything you're about to share with the people today is going to be so powerful and so activating for people during these times. And how are you? You've been traveling, you've been venturing around the world. How's life in Gabby's planet and dimension?
Yeah. So much to share. Wow. Yes. So for those of you that don't know me, it's an honor to be here. For those of you that do know me, it's still an honor to be here. And yeah, I spent the last few months traveling. So I left on a bit of a mission to meet with somebody else, and we did some beautiful work around the planet. And I was away from home for like almost 4 months, so 3.5 months. And if you know me at all, I have a cute little galactic dog that I miss terribly, who's over there. She's doing her thing. She'll be taking part. She's an assistant today. And so it's so beautiful to be home. Yet it's interesting too, and part of why I'm also so excited to co-create this event today. So, you know, as we ascend, we raise our frequency, and we're taking this journey, right, of physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual evolution and expansion and transformation. And for me, this year has been a year massively focused around the physical element. So my body has not been able to, so I released alcohol and dairy, and I'd already released meat, but to the point where I only literally eat fruits and vegetables now, and a little bit of like wild caught fish, no grains, no nothing. And like found myself in a position where I couldn't even physically be around people that had drank alcohol. Like the frequency was messing with my field. And then leaving Melbourne, I'm in Australia, Melbourne, and one of my missions was doing grid work here, meaning doing a whole bunch of work on the quantum infrastructure, I guess you could say, and supporting this land through the shifts, and supporting this land specifically, with some of the changes that were happening and that we've all witnessed over the last couple of years. And the density here in Melbourne, like I'm not going to go too deep into it, but Melbourne's kind of like 0 point. It's spent a lot of time in lockdown, and so holding this land was quite a lot of work, like fourth. And then in May this year, gosh, it all just quantum time, feels like a year ago. In May this year, my mission of doing grid work on Australia completed. I actually went for a trip to Uluru, which is a sacred site here, and received this initiation, and a new mission was activated. And I left and went overseas, and I was in Hawaii for a couple of months, and then traveled around sacred sites in America. And man, I just felt so great, like leaving the density of this land. Oh, it was like this awesome energetic holiday for my body. And don't get me wrong, there was a lot of shifts and there was a lot of stuff to do. It was just the contrast of being on this land and the energetics of it. Then in the meantime, while I was gone, there was so much going on here. Lockdowns and, enforced vaccinations. And there was a lot of density happening. I could actually feel it. I was in America tuning into my house and my dog, and I'm like, whoa, it's dense there. I'm going to put my galactic seatbelt on when I come home. To long-windedly answer your question, how am I? Since coming, I've landed literally a week ago. I came back to this home, and just by within a few hours of being here, my body was shutting down. My kidneys were on fire. I wanted to vomit. My whole body was literally shutting down. The frequency of this land was not, well, let's just say it wasn't in resonance with me. And then I've, in the last week, undergone so much beautiful quantum surgery and upgrades with my galactic family, building out an infrastructure so I could stay here, because I want to stay here. I want to share light here. I don't want to run away just because it's dense. I actually feel like to me, there's always a way. And to me, one thing I really want to talk about today too is about bringing a lot more love and a lot more how can we attitude to what's happening around the planet. And so today I'm feeling great. I'm about 78% complete with this transformation I'm undergoing for my cells to be happy here, and everything's shifting really fast. And there is some really cool stuff I'm going to share with you all later, like beautiful for those of you that are also accelerated and you're finding that your physical body's struggling a little bit with the energetics. of where you live, or maybe even going, like, to me, like if I go to what I call mainland, which is a supermarket or any 3D structures, whew, like I can feel it. Jesse, have you noticed that too? We all like, man. So I've got a really beautiful present for you all as to what I've received to support me in that, and some beautiful gifts to share around that, so you can harness your own frequency, continue ascending without being as much on a roller coaster with other people or with what's happening on the planet, to not let the density of what's happening affect you as much. So I'm going to be sharing some of that today. Yeah, that's like, honestly, I've kind of been dying a little bit, Jesse. How are you? Well, most people go, yeah, I'm great. Well,
I appreciate your honesty, and thank you for sharing that. And it's amazing how synchronistic and aligned your journey has been in adjacent to my journey and mine and Sakula's journey, because I remember when you were in Hawaii, you left to Hawaii like maybe 1 or 2 weeks after we left for the exact same reason. And it's so, everything you're saying, it's just checking off all the boxes of what we've been going through. Exact same thing here in New Zealand. We left when it was normal. It was normal. There's no lockdowns or anything like that. 1 or 2 weeks in, New Zealand in lockdown, and we're about I think we're about like maybe 2 to 4 weeks behind Melbourne. So I've got family in Melbourne, so I've been keeping in touch with them, and we're pretty much like on the same roller coaster ride. You're just in the front carriage and we're in the back carriage. That's what it's like. And yeah, and it's really interesting that you were saying about doing the grid work in different planets. I mean, different well, planets, but different countries, because that's exactly the same as us. We went to Europe. We did a European tour. We're doing festivals and workshops and visiting many sacred sites, connecting with a lot of the indigenous people in Sweden and Croatia. We actually visited some of the pyramids in Europe, actually. We went to the Bosnian pyramids, and that was extremely powerful, learning about all of that and just connecting into those energies. And it was all for the exact same reason. It was to go out and do the work that needed to be done in the other parts of the planet, and then come back to New Zealand and bring the codes that we received back here. And exact same thing, we arrived back in very dense and very intense, and it's interesting times. It's very interesting times indeed. And I feel like for us, and perhaps a lot of other people that are watching this, we get put onto these different little missions, no matter what those missions are, to support us in leveling up, and so that we can continue to serve our purpose to the greatest capacity. So yeah, man, it's crazy times, it's interesting times. But Gabby, I'd love to ask you, like, everything that we're going through in the world right now as individuals and as a collective, we talk a lot about ascension, and you're an ascension coach, and so am I. And ascension means different things to different people. But I feel like we're going through a global awakening now, where millions of people are starting to elevate in consciousness through expanding their awareness of what's going on in the world. And I see a lot of these things that we're experiencing in the world as like catalysts that are supporting us in reaching those higher levels of consciousness. But I'd love to ask you, for some of the people that may be new to these words and to this this type of lingo, what is ascension? To simplify.
To me, and this is like, at the end of the day, this is I'm only sharing with you my own little experience through the universe. So please also inviting everyone to take what resonates. And if anything doesn't resonate, just leave it on the shelf. Like no right or wrong, right? For me, I see evolution and ascension a little bit differently. So to me, evolution is where we evolve to be able to access greater capacity. So what that means is we can activate more DNA. And yes, that's a part of ascension. Yet for me, evolution is I may have more gifts, which means I can see into future timelines. I can download data on a place, on a person, tune in and like travel through time and space and receive lessons and codes from a place I visit and literally see past events happening there. These are the evolution to be able to access the quantum, for example, which is part of ascension. Yet to me, ascension is, as I'm evolving, I'm choosing to stay anchored in the higher realms of existence, which means I'm choosing to evolve with the frequency of love, not with the frequency of fear. So what I mean by that is, to me, ascension means that I continue to grow, I continue to evolve, I continue to call back more of my soul memory, more of my soul gifts, be able to be myself with the gifts of other lifetimes, while I hold so much love and compassion, while I hold the light of love inside of my heart and continue traveling on paths of light. That's what ascension is to me.
Beautiful. I love that. It's so super powerful and a beautiful explanation. And I feel like I was saying before, I feel like a lot of the things that we're experiencing is like a catalyst for a lot of people to elevate into that heightened state of awareness. And I think for a lot of people, a lot of us, and I think we all get tested at times with this, is that I think this is a beautiful realization, is that there are multiple dimensions of existence that we have access to in every given moment. And I remember learning that like a long time ago, and I didn't quite get it. And I'm still learning. I'm still a student to this every single day. But I've really noticed it during these times. And you'll probably notice it traveling around the world and stuff as well. There's all this fear being like bombarded into the world through all of the different outlets that fear gets distributed through. And it's really interesting to witness how that fear influences the collective consciousness, as well as us, and how we feel as a result of what's going on. And I remember when we were traveling, you might have been the same. We were going through, like, it was such an intense time to travel, right? Like most people would be like, you're crazy for traveling at this time. Like a lot of people don't even think that you can travel during this time. And I remember having to cross borders and, doing all these different things and just feeling the intensity, like you were saying, the intensity of just the environment around us, the people, the just everything, the whole paradigm. But one of the lessons that I was really learning is exactly what you were sharing, which was there's fear and then there's love. And we have the ability to tune into love and choose love. It's a choice, right? We get to choose love in every single moment. And when we choose to tune into that frequency, the reality around us changes. And it's like it creates like a bubble of love around you, and you exist in this like bubble of love, and every interaction, everywhere you go is just like it's pleasant, and it's a positive experience. And I think that's so powerful. I think that's so powerful for people to learn right now, because it can almost feel, I feel like a lot of people are suffering, and a lot of people have this like hopelessness, you know what I mean? Is there anything that you want to add to that, when it comes to just experiencing different, and I know you're going to go deep into this today, but when it comes to just experiencing these different realities, from your perspective, how does that work for people that may not understand the metaphysics and the quantum nature of reality?
Love this. And it's, gosh, I could run a 10-day event just
I know.
let me do my best in 2 minutes. I feel like first, when we accept that, when we accept one thing, which is that we've been programmed in an illusion to believe that there is only one reality, that what we can experience through our senses right now is reality. Yet really what's happening is every moment is a moment within the ever expanding quantum limitless possibilities, which means that, right now, this very moment, my frequency and Jesse's frequency is creating this resonant field, and we're having this conversation. Yet there are other parallel versions of us having slightly different experiences right now.
Mhm.
And it is honestly based on our frequency and how we show up. So if I was to be jumping on right now, and if I was still a couple of days ago where my face had blown up, like I literally looked like I'd eaten peanuts, but I was allergic to peanuts. If you've ever seen, like, my eyes were swollen, right? And I was processing quite a fair bit of the pain that had happened and having to expand my ability to hold that and maintain my soul frequency. So if I had jumped on a few days ago, we would be having a very different conversation because of which Gabby showed up in that conversation and what she was going through. Personally, I was going through my own stuff. So that was a moment a day for me anyway. I wouldn't be serving on a day for me. But do you get what I'm saying? That please get that it's not like, and even right now, if I elevate my frequency, I quantum shift into another version. We're moving into different versions of ourselves. That imagine that quantum now, like quantum time versus linear time. Quantum time is everything exists at the same time now. So there's all these billions and billions of snapshots of stillness of now. And we're moving through all of these nows, which means that motion was like probably a billion now moments just to create that. And this is how we're experiencing linear time. Yet in truth, like what's going on behind the scenes is we're moving through realities. And this is why at the bare bones of it, every one of us, I imagine that are here, have already experienced some personal development, and for example, like most people are familiar with like The Secret and, movies like this. And we were taught there, that our vibration will shift us into different realities. And we've all experienced what it feels like to be in a great vibration and everything works out for us. It's like, we're funny and we don't have to wait in queues and everyone like is just nicer to us that day. Or when we're rushed, when we're stressed, how things can get a bit like fuddly. Your hair just won't stop doing that woo thing and you get stuck in a, Jesse's like, you know what I mean? That woo thing. And you get stuck in, in conversations, or there's densities. And I share this because I feel like if we embody that lesson, like most of us know this, yet there's a difference between knowing something and living something. So our first take is to, to really embody it, to really like, even if that means writing a poster everywhere, all over your home, that reminds you, that reprograms, that takes out the hypnosis that there's only one reality and reminds us there's multiple, then we're able to stay in a calmer frequency. We're able to go back into, we're able to observe more, we're able to see the bigger picture more, and then we're able to choose. And I feel like when we know that we've got choice, we're able to choose. When we forget that we have choice, we get sucked in. And then all of a sudden, we're all beating the drum of one narrative, one story, which is actually creating reality. Yeah. And so for me, like, I know that there is a narrative being fed through social media, and its purpose is to have most of the people on the planet who don't live in the multiple reality embodiment to see what's there and to beat the drum of it and keep talking about it, because that's what's creating timelines. And so as a collective consciousness, humanity is creating more shit for themselves by looking at what's outside of them. And when we stop doing this, when we actually remember we're creators and we just go, okay, fine, that's what I see right now. And what we see right now is always a reflection of past creation. It's a reflection, everything's a reflection. This is how it works. And if we don't like the reflection, then we allow ourselves to take a process to, shift out. Like, even that, to me, nature is always awesome. Get yourself in nature. Do you know what's funny? If we go out in full-blown nature, none of this exists. I'm talking like if you were to fly on the wings of an eagle or hold onto an eagle's feet, and that eagle could take you far, far, far away where there's no civilization. where all you see is mountains and trees and lakes and rivers, and you were to land perfectly into that place, not only would the vibrational frequency be amazing, none of this is happening there. And there's so much land around our planet where none of this is happening. There is so much free land. Most of Earth is free. Gaia is free. And yes, there's pockets of her, these little realities all around her that have been created and recreated. And to me, I feel like when we know, hey, I'm not going to buy into this narrative, and I'm going to spend more time. I'm going to spend more time just being with myself and creating and dreaming new realities. Just spending time in my own inner world, creating and dreaming realities. And when we do this, we unplug from the collective consciousness, and all of a sudden, the fear is not there anymore. And all of a sudden, we're in a totally different version of ourselves that remembers that we create our reality. And then we start to remember all the times we've created our realities. And then we take that journey onwards. Does that answer your question?
That was an amazing answer. Thank you so much. And yeah, very insightful. And I 100% resonate and agree with everything that you're saying, because I've experienced what you're talking about on a practical level over the last few weeks. And I think, there's a couple of things I want to touch on. The first thing is going back to those fundamentals of understanding that we are creators of our reality. Going back to those the law of attraction and the secret and things of that nature, understanding that our vibration is what creates our experience, and that vibration is coming from our thoughts and our feelings and our emotions and everything that's going on within our mind, body, spirit complex, and that's what's creating what we experience. And I think it was one of the videos I did yesterday. I was saying that heaven and hell are not necessarily places that we go when we die. They are states of consciousness or vibrational realities that we experience through whatever it is that we have going on within ourselves. And I think I think another word that really stood out to me that was very aligned with the workshop that I did last night was, and you said literally pretty much the same words that I said. It's one thing to understand. It's one thing to understand a concept or an idea, but it's another thing to actually embody that. And I feel like what we're experiencing in the world is like the training grounds. It's like the embodiment training grounds. It's like, okay, we've learned these concepts over the last couple of decades, they're chilling in our consciousness. And now is the time where we really actually have to put it to the test. When we're traveling the world, we're going into airports, we're going into the city, and we're going to supermarkets, and the whole paradigm has just changed. It's completely different from what it was a couple of years ago. That's when we really get to practice it. And even though that's challenging, it's also beautiful because it helps us master and deepen our understanding of these universal laws on a more practical and embodied level, so that we can really start playing with our creative potential and seeing what shifts we can create amidst a world full of chaos. And I can explain to you guys something that, a way that I've experienced this practically. And I think this is an important message for everyone. And I'm going to share this before I let you take us for the activation today, Gabby. But a couple of weeks ago, I was, when we first arrived back, like you, Gabby, I was just kind of feeling all the energy, and got a lot of clients that are struggling, losing jobs, and, having to question whether I'm going to keep my son in school, because they're going to probably start mandating certain things. You guys know what I'm talking about, in schools very soon. So having to have those conversations, and I remember I was feeling a lot of the humanness, the anger, and the negative emotion, the fear even within myself. And I remember feeling, watching the news. Actually, I was watching the news every single day because it was kind of relevant to me. I actually kind of had to know what was going on. So I had to go into that realm for a little bit. And I immediately noticed the shift in my state. And I don't judge it as a bad thing, because I think every single dimension and reality and emotion and experience is all part of our learning and our growth at the end of the day. So I don't judge it, but I remember specifically going into it, and I have these concepts and these ideas that we're talking about. I've got them really anchored in, and I was having to go within myself. And I was like, okay, how do I take this like unity consciousness and this multidimensional awareness and the power of, manifestation and my creative potential? How do I take all of these things that I've been training myself in for many years, and how do I apply it into like what I'm experiencing right now and what we're experiencing in the world? I ended up going to a rally, a freedom rally, a protest here in New Zealand a couple of weeks ago. Some of you guys might have seen that. And as you could imagine, that was an extremely polarizing experience in the most positive way, because there was so much unity and so many people from all around, different cultures and belief systems, and people that have made their own unique individual choices. You know what I'm talking about. Both sides of the spectrum were there marching for freedom, right? And it was really, really interesting being there in this collective of like 10, 20,000 people, and experiencing the unity, but then also and feeling the collective shift within the people around me. I was speaking to a lot of people, and it was a beautiful experience. And I could feel that just by embodying, like you're saying, embodying that light and altering my vibration to be more resonant with a higher frequency, I could feel the shift happening with all the people around me. And it's almost like energetically they were catching the vibe, the good vibe. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you guys is because I remember after that, when we came out of the protest and we went back home, and I put some photos and some videos up on social media, because I think it was I feel like, even though it's a polarizing thing to do, I think it's important to demonstrate unity in times of fear and division and separation. And I remember getting the negative energy that has been fed through the propaganda being directed towards me, and it was almost like I got sucked into the division just automatically by playing in that polarity, if that makes sense to you guys. So I had to experience that, and that was stressful, getting a lot of negative messages and all that kind of stuff. I'm used to that, but just had to process that. Now, the reason why I'm sharing this with you guys is because for a few weeks I was experiencing a lot of stress, density, like you're saying, Gabby, fear, division. I was checking my phone all the time. I was caring about what the politicians were saying, all this kind of stuff. I was really invested, and I got sucked into it. And then it got to this point where I was like, you know what? I know why this has all happened, because I need to experience all of this to help expand my understanding and awareness. But I have more potential within me to do something, to change in a positive way. And that's when I got the idea to run this event. And then I went through the process of building this event, and I recognized that, okay, the embodiment is key. Like you're saying, Gabby, the embodiment is key to be able to demonstrate this and create the sacred space and the safe space for people to also experience this. And I made the shift. I shifted. I did the inner work. I transmuted the anger I was feeling and the frustration and the resentment. I let go of all the negative stuff that I've been picking up from media. And I just tapped back into my soul frequency and the mission, the purpose of why I'm here. And immediately everything shifted in the sense of my quality of life, my emotional state, my mental state, my thoughts that I was having, the ideas that I was getting, the information that I was tuning into, everything shifted. And now here we are, fast forward a couple of weeks, having this conversation, and I feel like I'm in a completely different reality. And all of that stuff that was really like in my consciousness, wreaking havoc in a sense, it's like it doesn't even exist anymore. Not in the sense of like I'm bypassing it, like I'm just, oh, that doesn't exist, I'm just pretending that's not a thing. it's not that, it's almost like a full acceptance of what's happening, and just anchored and embodied in that love, like you said, and recognizing that even right now, I'm in the middle of the city right now, I'm like in the density, it doesn't matter, because my reality is created by what I'm feeling. So I just wanted to share that, because I feel like it's a testament to what you're explaining to us, Gabby.
Right. It means I'm right.
You're right.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. And it is powerful, because right now, this is the power lies within the realities we choose and the realities we create. And yes, we're all walking paths that are new, which means, like, I know for myself, there's so much downloading. I'm co-creating with, for those of you that don't know me, I co-create with my beautiful soul family in the 12th dimension, and a whole bunch of beautiful light councils all throughout the galaxy, and ones from like inner earth councils, and even some from not even this universe. And they're supporting, they've been supporting me to do the work that I do. And I'm walking paths, and I'm walking paths that haven't been walked before. And it's not like some of this information and some of the things to guide us literally don't exist yet, because we're taking a journey that hasn't been taken.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm so grateful that whatever we go through, we can share with each other. So what Jesse went through, he can now share. And just by sharing that story, everyone receives the frequency codes of that. And there's stuff for me to share with you, which is tangible in field, me walking through the sticks in the mud, like me walking through the forest, to then go, oh, like it'd be so good if I could have something for this forest, so it'd be easier to walk through it. Then poof, all of a sudden I have this, I find whatever it is. Like, it's just, does this make sense? Like, I'm really grateful that this summit is here, that the people that have come here are sharing with each other. And I feel like this is what makes things powerful, when each and every one of us shifts our focus to take the journey and to collect the berries and share them with others, and the more that we do this, the faster we actually shift as a collective. That's unity consciousness, Yet, yes, there are a lot of people that still, within the collective consciousness of the various realities that we're all oscillating through, can get a little bit stuck in huddling up and talking about what is over and over and over again, and spiraling and living in realities that are kind of like, and it kind of feels like a bad dream if you're stuck in one of them. If you've experienced it, when you're out of it, it feels like you were in a bit of a bad dream. And then you're like, whoa, so I love that you've shared this. I love that this summit exists. I'm so excited to share more and give you guys some gifts soon.
Oh, thank you so much, Gabby. And yeah, uncharted territories, right? It's like, I was just seeing the way shower vision, like taking the torch through the darkness, and and leading people through the path that you pave for yourself, as a light bearer. So yeah, so powerful. And yeah, thank you just for having this discussion with me. And I'm so excited for you to share your next phase, your next activation with the tribe. And I think just the keystone moral that I've just taken from this little conversation with you, and it is really it's the embodiment. It perfectly flows on from what we were talking about last night. It's the embodiment of that higher self. It's the embodiment of that love. And we're going to get tested, and sometimes we'll get sucked into different realities, but this is the training ground, like I said. And when we get to embody that, that energy is contagious, like I was saying, and that's the work that we're doing in every single moment. We're all going to get presented with different experiences and different ways to learn and demonstrate those lessons, but that's what we're going through, and that's why we're here, right? So thank you, Gabby. Thank you so much. And I'm excited sorry.
You can't go yet. Don't go yet.
Sorry.
He was about to go. I actually just wanted to anchor something, because I'm feeling the frequency of already what's being shared in this beautiful journey for everyone. And that deeply, 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 wanting to share that if we ever, like, to me, people ask me, how do I discern between what's my higher self and what's not? And honestly, discernment comes from taking the journey. Discernment comes from stepping into a place where, like, the testing ground, the learning ground, how many times have you gone off path a little bit, to then go, it's not here, go back this way, so to also not, for anyone who's been having a really rough time and finding it very challenging to stay in a frequency of love, please know that doesn't make you, bad, wrong, or a big fat poo on a stick. It just means that there's an initiation around discernment, and there's always layers around this. Embodying our higher self means that we do explore, every now and then. And I just wanted to share that before you left, because I feel it's so important that we all treat ourselves with love. The love first gets shared with ourselves. I love you enough that if you go somewhere and you take me somewhere, Gabby, that isn't super great, I love you, we'll learn from it, and we'll collect up all sorts of cool gifts, and we'll keep going. And I feel like we get to give that to ourselves and others. That's all. Before you go, I wanted to share, unless you want to continue.
Nah, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful way to conclude that. So yeah, thank you so much, Gabby. Thank you for sharing all of that. And without further ado, I'm gonna let you take the stage. And once again, fam, everyone that's watching in the comments live on the replay, just send Gabby some love, and as she prepares to share this powerful transmission with you all. And I'll see you guys at the end of the session. So much love, fam.
Whee! And dun 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 dun. It is a pleasure and an honor to co-create with you all today. We've already started, so just calibrating to the field a little bit. For those of you that aren't familiar with me, or aren't, haven't experienced my work before, there'll be certain things that I say or do that might not make any sense at all. So for example, I might move my hands around as I'm talking to you. Yeah, what I'm doing in that moment, it's kind of like, think of it like I'm configuring the energy, within the quantum field. And so I'm tuning into every one of you who's here with me live, and also who catches the recording through time and space. And my soul family and I are working together with other councils of light, and we're configuring the space. And this is supporting a couple of things. One, the integration of the beautiful gifts and the codes. And two, it's also preparing and expanding the field so you can receive more. Yeah. So if you see me do this, it's because it's kind of like fluffing the pillows and arranging the bed, so to speak, in the energetic realms, in the non-physical realms. You may also find that I'll be like talking, and mid-sentence, halfway through, I'll stop and I'll start doing this with my hands. Please know it's because I'm configuring, we're configuring the energies to support your integration, your embodiment, your receiving of what's coming through today. Yeah, so I'm asking for you to let go, and receive this with your heart. And I may also make some sounds, do some light language. There might be some toning sounds that come through, once again, also working, within the shift. So yes, there is words coming through for our mental side and stuff to teach our mind and our consciousness. And then most of what's coming through today is actually non-physical. And so sounds, and there'll just be a whole bunch of quantum stuff that happens to support you receiving the beautiful gifts that I have to share with you today. So give me a bit of a yes and a woohoo in our comments if you're all up for that. And that feels good for you to just open your heart and allow yourself to accept and delight in the beautiful art that flows through. Yes, woohoo, woohoo, thank you. And so to start off with, we can receive so much more through our heart consciousness than through our mind consciousness. Our mind is lovely, yet at the same time, it's kind of like our beautiful, human computer. And even though it's super advanced, our heart is like the most phenomenal, multidimensional consciousness, it literally puts our mind, which is awesome, it trumps it with what we can receive, what we can interpret, what we can embody. And so I wanted to start off with doing a little bit of a heart activation. So placing your beautiful hands over your heart field with me. And we're going to take breaths in through our nose and out through our mouth. And we're going to breathe into our hearts. And with each breath, we're going to expand our heart field. Cool? So breathing into your heart and out through your mouth. Breathing into your heart and out through your mouth. And if there is any chatter in your mind, saying thank you, mind. Thank you for everything you do. Thank you for everything you are. Thank you for everything you be. Breathing into your heart and out. Mind, guess what? You get to have a little bit of a holiday for the next half hour or so. You can go sit down on a beautiful seat and just relax because you get some time out. Please, mind, relax, enjoy, have a break, have a nap. And heart consciousness is going to hold us here. Loving you so much, mind. And now heart, welcome. Breathing into your heart and out. Beautiful heart consciousness. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Activating the heart consciousness within. Take another breath into your heart and out. And first, welcoming into the field beautiful archangels, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Metatron, Archangel Uriel, connecting us beautifully into the light that comes from the angelic realm. The angelic, the beautiful Archangel Raphael is placing, and Uriel is placing a beautiful ball of light inside of your heart field. Allow yourself to receive this now. This ball of light is calibrating with your field, enabling you to harmonize more into your soul frequency, into the frequency of your higher self, into the frequency of your soul essence, allowing you to feel who you truly are as a fractal of source consciousness in your heart field, expanding your heart field. Beautiful. Thank you, friends. Allowing this beautiful ball of light to be with you and allowing this ball of light now to start to copy paste itself. And now another ball emerges from this ball from your heart field. And this ball comes in and goes into your solar plexus, into your beautifully here, into the center, just under your chest. And it works on your beautiful solar plexus field, working now and calibrating your field, allowing you to now call back more of your inner power into your body. Sita Mataya Sutui, welcoming in to this co-creation, the Palladian Council of Light, as we align your energetics so you can receive the next phases. This ball of light is now activating, expanding, and clearing your solar plexus. Continuing to work in your field. And now it creates another ball of light. It births another ball from this ball. And this ball comes in and sits within your sacral, within your womb space, or your energetic womb if you're a man space. And now it's working within that realm. Calibrating, restoring. And now it births another ball, and that ball goes into your root, somewhere around your tailbone region. And now this ball is calibrating you and connecting you even more to the earth. Specifically now connecting you to all the parts of our beautiful earth that are free. The mountains, the rivers, the streams, the forests, the oceans. Beautiful. And now coming back to your heart, the ball inside of your heart, breathing into that ball and breathe out. And that ball now births another ball. That ball now goes into your throat and it's working on your throat, allowing you to express your soul truth with love, allowing you to have the voice of your soul even more. Beautiful. And now another ball gets birthed from your beautiful heart field. Your heart produces another ball, and that ball touches and receives frequencies from your throat, and it moves up into your third eye, into the middle of your forehead, and it goes into your third eye, working on your pineal gland, working on your capacity to connect into your multidimensionality even more with your inner eye senses. Some decalcification is taking place. And now this ball in your inner eye creates another ball. And this ball goes on the top of your head, onto your crown, your connection to your non-physical self, your higher selves, your spirit, your soul families. And another ball comes from your heart and also joins that ball on the top of your head. And then another ball comes from your root, from your tailbone, and joins. And the three balls from your root, your heart, and your inner eye are now on the top of your beautiful head at your crown. And they're coming into formation, into one, into unity consciousness. See you. Beautiful. And allowing this energy at your head, at your crown now, to send a beautiful loving beam up into the quantum, into the universe. And as we send it up, it goes straight all the way into source energy, connecting with source frequency. And sending a column of white light from source all the way down and encasing your whole body from your head to your toes and then all the way down into our beautiful earth, connecting to all the free land all over our earth and allowing us to now stay in this column of white light. Beautiful. Taking another deep breath into your heart and out. And when you're ready, simply coming back into this moment, in this new version of self. Open your eyes if they're closed. Look around your beautiful world. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, my beautiful friends, now let's proceed. There's a few things I wish to share with you today, and there'll be on top of this little activation that you've just received, there'll be a few little gifts that we're going to give you. Give me some love hearts in the comments if you already feel a shift in your frequency just by receiving this. Just give me a yes or some love hearts if you already feel your frequency is anchored into more love. Feeling shifted. Yes, thank you. That was amazing. Thank you. Love hearts. And so remember too, you've got access to all these recordings. You know, any moment, if you were to feel yourself getting sucked a little bit into collective narratives, jump back into these recordings. Jump back and just receive this 5-10 minute alignment. Yeah, and then continue with your day. It makes such a big difference. Beautiful. Okay, so friends, connecting with you to really go deep on creating realities, creating alternate realities, alternate timelines. And in order for us to do this, it's also to understand the journey we take as we're evolving and ascending through this particular time point. So what I mean by this is, at the very bare fundamentals of it all, we want to spend more time, you know, tuning in and creating realities, getting excited about realities. Yeah, which means literally taking time every day. How often? Even just once, just one time a day, tapping into a reality that we'd like to call in, literally holds that reality and holds that timeline, which means that it keeps us connected to that reality within the quantum soup of limitless possibility. And it's one time a day. You know, we're not even talking like you've got to do this 10 times a day. One time a day. Take some moment, breathe into your heart, still yourself, come into this frequency and simply tune in and tap into anything that you would love to create. See life as you would love it to be. And if you know, I know for myself, this technology of holding a timeline, holding a reality, like a mother holds her child, is so powerful that I've created everything within my life around this. And it's kind of interesting. I feel like a lot of us do this unconsciously. We'll get excited about something and we can't stop thinking about it. And then poof, before you know it, everything aligns. Yeah. And I'm sharing this to invite everyone to take a little bit of time every single day and create alternate realities for you, which means that, you know, see yourself happy and healthy with people around you. See yourself in whatever manifestation you're wishing to call in. And it could be, for some of you, like if you're in business, you know, it could be seeing yourself calling in soulmate, beautiful clients. So one of my favorite things, you know, which I love to do, I don't do it as much physically anymore, but I used to project out, like say, for example, like in this room, I would, you know, play pretend like we do as kids, right? I would project out the image. This is when I was building my beautiful business. I would project out an image of a full room of people, and I was still building my seminar business. I would see all the chairs and tables filled, and I would walk amongst, like I would do what kids do, play pretend, and I'd walk amongst all the different tables and chairs all the way up to the stage, and I would play pretend and deliver an event for like 5-10 minutes maybe. I would do this daily, sometimes 2 minutes. That's all it takes. And this literally created an energetic pull towards calling that in. Please note, I also took action. Of course, I created marketing. I didn't just sit there. I took all the inspired action to run the promotional events, to call people in. Yet part of me growing my beautiful business as fast as I did, was this work, was holding the timeline, holding the vision, play pretending, Still back, I still remember in like high school years, I wanted to so badly get into a university of drama, and I did. And what I did was I would just sit there and I'd imagine myself going to the auditions at the universities and being accepted. And it was really hard to get accepted into some of these schools. Like one of the schools I applied for, they auditioned 1,000 people and they only chose 50. And another school auditioned 500 people and chose 25. And I still remember going there, doing my auditions and seeing other people's auditions, and they were amazing. And they were there like for the 3rd year trying to get in because they'd already been declined for a couple of years in a row. And I share this with you because I literally got in first round offers for both universities. And I promise you, it's not that I was a better performer. My background was actually direction and creation. Acting wasn't even my primary passion. It was because I held the vision. It was because I nurtured the timeline. I nurtured the reality. I dreamed a new reality into existence. I held it every day. I spent time with it every day. I daydreamed about it. And I'm sharing this with you all because right now we have an opportunity to dream a new reality into existence together. We truly can. We can choose to unplug from collective narratives. Doesn't mean that we ignore what's happening. And of course we take guided action and continue our beautiful ascension and our missions. Yet one of the ways that we can do this, one of the ways that we can continue to hold a beautiful reality when current reality is reflecting not so great stuff back to us, is we expand our capacity to hold what's not working within the world that we see. Let me explain. So, for example, some of you have probably noticed that it's all good and great to dream a beautiful reality into existence when life is, working out, and you can ride the wave of abundance to more abundance. Yet it's challenging. It's a lot more challenging when things are going wrong. When things are going wrong all around us, it gets more challenging. And I'm kind of curious, right? If you could share with me, is there anyone here that has experienced that you've seen other people lose their jobs, or you've seen people getting sicker and sicker? You've seen things happening. Give me a yes if you've seen stuff, out there in the world that's been kind of breaking your heart a little bit, that you've seen people like suffering, through what's happening. Give me a yes if you've felt that hurt your heart. And now, would you agree with me that when our hearts hurt, it's a lot more challenging? It's like so much more challenging to hold our higher realities, to hold an alternate reality, to create and co-create a whole new earth together when we're looking and we see pain, right? And so one of the gifts that I'd love to give everyone today inside of the little activation is going to be an ability for you to expand your capacity to hold things. So what I mean by that is we all have a cap. We all have a cap of what we can hold until it's overwhelming, it's too much, and it does fry our emotional circuits. And when we expand on that, we can hold a lot more. And so it's kind of funny because in business, and I am a business ascension mentor too, you can always tell when someone's new in business and then when someone's been around for quite some time. Usually those that are new will react more negatively to having a couple of bad months, meaning that if they don't have any people purchase from them for a couple of months or a month, or have a couple of bad weeks, they can tend to go a little bit like, whoa, end of world about it. Those that have been around for quite some time have stretched their capacity to be able to see that, they don't think day to day, week to week anymore. They see things more annually, and they don't get lost anymore in, oh no, doom and gloom. They've stretched their capacity to hold a bad week or a bad month, financially in business if needed, and they can still stay calm and get stuff done. Does this resonate with you? And so in life, it's the same thing. I've seen parents do this. They usually, with their first child, they freak out about so many things. But then when the second child comes, because the first child entrained them in being able to hold everything and still keep their cool, right? And so I want to give you guys something that's going to support you as we transition through all these new realities, all these new paths, so much change happening. And we, you know, as our world continues to transform, and so many of us are called to create a new world, create new communities, new schools, new hospitals, new currency, new infrastructures, to basically go, you know what, all that free land all over our planet, let's move there and build our own earth, our own world that's anchored in love, and no longer be part of the world that we've been part of, those infrastructures and cities, everything that we've known to be reality, which was built by other people, and we got plugged into that. Let's go and build our own in all this free land that's everywhere. As we take this journey, you know, we can watch other people suffering, and that doesn't mean that we shut our emotions off. Some of us are really good and have defense mechanisms where if the pain's too much, we just shut off, put walls up. Who's done that before? Oop, there goes a wall, and now my heart's protected, and now I'm numb or bypassing what I truly feel. So please know what I'm about to share with you is not about that. It's about staying with what is and expanding the infrastructure so we can hold what is within a much larger infrastructure and stay within our heart frequency and stay with love, which means that we still have full compassion, full love for others. We remember, though, that they are all fractals of source, all powerful creators. We don't need to rescue anyone. And we're able to still stay within our own frequency, because holding what's happening on the planet is only taking up maybe, you know, 20% or 10% of what we can hold. If this resonates with you and you feel like this would be helpful, give me a yes, give me some love hearts, because this will be one of the gifts that, yay, that, yay, beautiful, that you'll be receiving in a little entrainment. And so I'm also asking that you co-create with this, you know, really co-create with this moving forward, and it will support you. It's beautifully simple and elegant, yet, oh, when you co-create with it, it's, well, it creates worlds. It changes worlds. Wonderful. The other thing that we look at is our frequency. So holding realities, well, you know, most of us can imagine what we want. We can, you know, we can create what we want, yet, you know, we want to make sure that we can maintain that frequency. So tool number one, which I'll give you in a moment. Tool number three, or gift number three, is frequency. And so the more abundance we can embody, and what that means is the more we can stay. This is ironic, because to be a truly abundant being simply means that we can embody more love and appreciation. The more love and appreciation and we can embody truly in a really, really pure way, the more we anchor into abundance and calling more of the highest experiences into our reality. There is a little bit more to this. And so my soul family and I, when we take you through this activation, we're going to be sharing with you some very specific abundance codes today. And the codes, if you don't know what a code is, it's a beautiful data burst. It's a little quantum data burst that when it comes in, your frequency can receive that frequency and beautifully mush together, and it trains your frequency. So it co-creates with your frequency, and then both of them, you know, co-create something new, which is how we evolve and expand, right? Frequencies come together and expand and expand. And so these particular abundance codes that have been shared with you are the abundance codes of creation, the abundance codes of playfulness and joy. Because when we have more playfulness and more joy, what comes through, what we create, has a frequency that's like an excited child, and it takes our little like inner children with us Yeah, often as adults, we forget about our inner children unless we're doing inner child work. These codes, these beautiful, beautiful codes of joy and play and creation are taking your inner child with you. So when you're creating realities, that pure, innocent joy is with you, anchoring your truest essence, and therefore taking all parts of you in this human experience along. And gift number 3, that's right, there's 3. Gift number 3 inside of this transmission is a beautiful technology. This is called, it's a diamond shield technology. And I've literally just been sharing this technology with all my amazing clients in Soul Tribe inside of my programs, because whoa, like it is so powerful, and I want to gift it to you too. I'm going to draw a little picture to explain what it is. When I was in America and I was walking, like there was some places in America that were quite dense for me, like Los Angeles and just some other areas. And then there was really like awesome places like Sedona and Shasta where I felt amazing. Yet there was one particular day I was walking through in Las Vegas. I was walking along the strip and I went past an old part of it, and whoa, the energetics of that place really threw me. And like I said, some of you are getting more and more sensitive to the energetics of people, food, places, and densities, like, what I call third dimensional realities, going into the cities, into the pre-created structures that are the 3D infrastructure on our planet is basically the whole society infrastructure. Unless you live very far away off grid, you're a part of that infrastructure, and the energetics there can be denser than a lot of your own bodies as you take ascension. So some of you will have noticed, so long story short, when I was in Vegas, I could really feel the density. I was throwing my system out. And then a friend of mine asked me, hey, do you have any like shield technology for energetics? Because he was also feeling like, whoa, like he was feeling this amplification to energies around people, and his energy was getting thrown out by others. And I know for as long as time, I've had people say, hey, when I'm around different people, my energy gets affected. How do I protect my energy when I'm around certain people in my family who, so this technology is phenomenal. When he asked me this question, and I was in US, all of a sudden I downloaded Councils of Light, the Palladian Council, which is a beautiful council of light, came through and showed me that I needed to take him into a room and they were going to share a technology. And then the Palladian Council plus the Lyran Council, the Andromedan Council, and the Blue Avian Council, which are 4 amazing, beautiful councils of light supporting humanity in this galaxy, supporting humanity in their ascension and other planets too. They came through and they downloaded this. We first installed it into his field, and then it got installed into my field. And then I was shown I had to share this with all the people I serve. And then today, when I was coming, when Jesse reached out about this, the Palladian Council, the other councils were really like, please share this with the world. It's important. Humanity needs this technology right now to support them to stabilize their frequencies. So this particular shield, I'm just going to draw it up for you. It's literally made of diamond light, and it's got all of these filters and fans, like quantum, mind-blowing technology made of like diamond crystal, like stuff that's not of this planet. Really, really cool. And what they do is this shield's going to be installed for every one of you, which means that in the future, from now on, you can just be like, diamond shield activate when you leave your house and go out, into the 3D, or when you're meeting with people that vibe at a slightly different frequency to you. If any of you are healers working on clients, this will actually have your field not take on their energy that they're purging. You can place this shield around your whole healing center. But anyway, the purpose of this is that the filters are literally filtering like a water filter filters. they're filtering the frequency and they're having it be in greater resonance to us. And this is going to support us, you know, right now as we're interacting with others. So I'm going to touch on a slightly more touchy topic now. And this is, I truly at core, you know, believe that every one of us is equal. If you took the vaccine or didn't friggin' take the vaccine, I don't give a hoot, I love you. And yes, you know, energetically, there is some stuff that can be happening when someone takes a vaccine because it's shifting. Any vaccine is going to shift and work inside the body and introduce different frequencies. And some of you may have found that when you're, you know, associating with others who have had this in your system, but you haven't, you can feel things happening in your field. There's been people sharing with others to stay away from those that are vaccinated. And to me, like, there are people that, you know, everyone gets to choose. It's their body, their choice. Yet at the same time, there are people on the planet that literally have been forced to do this because if they didn't, they would not have jobs and not be able to feed their children. And, you know, to push these people away and to make them like cootie people is just, it's so not in alignment with who we truly are. And so this beautiful diamond shield technology, when we wear this every day, it's allowing ourselves to have our own energy within our field. So inside the chamber, it's working on our energy and it's literally clearing our own energy. So it's giving us a little bit of a clean out because we can intercept energies from other people, especially, you know, when we connect, when we kiss, when we make love, or we just spend lots of time with people, we intercept energies when we go to certain places. So inside the chamber, it's working like on you internally. And then how it's working with the external environment is wherever you go into shared realities or into collective consciousness realities that are not just created by you, but created by others too, and may not be of pure resonance to your soul frequency. It's taking the frequency that's out there and it's filtering it. It's filtering it, I guess you could say, very specifically for you to be able to have it in your field. And that means that you can be around people that might not be at the same level of consciousness as you. You can be around people all over the world. You can go to places, you can go into cities, and I feel like it's important because then we just get to go, hey, as opposed to right, wrong, bad, good, you know, like just because my body is finding it very challenging to be in third dimensional infrastructures, I'm not poo-pooing those infrastructures. You know, there's no right or wrong. There's just resonance or not resonance. And think of this as a resonance filter. It's allowing frequency resonance to take place for a period of time, for us to be able to do whatever we need to do or serve or be. Does this resonate with you? And so I'm inviting everyone to take this on if you're feeling aligned with it, that we get to just see every single person on this planet as a soul, as a beautiful being that's here on this planet right now. And we get to just take responsibility for our own frequency. And to me, co-creating with quantum technology like this shield is me taking responsibility for the fact that my energies right now in my ascension, finding it challenging to resonate with certain places. And so when I place this on and I go outside, I can go do my groceries, I can go do some stuff and come home and I'm not totally zapped and all over the place and my energetics aren't blown. So I trust that this serves, and this is the third thing. And so I'm going to take you through a bit of a process, cool? In the process, I'm going to show you how to expand. So this whole process I'm about to take you through is literally it. All three gifts will be given to you in this process. Some of you may want to watch the recording again for your consciousness to really like tag, the differences. I'm going to first teach you how to expand your realities, then share some codes from my soul fam, and then we're going to install this shield for you. Are you ready? Give me a woohoo if you're ready. Some love hearts, some love. Beautiful. And by the way, it's totally okay if we don't resonate. As we're sort of preparing everyone for this, I kind of want to just add one more thing here. that as we ascend, there'll be people and places and things that no longer hold resonance for us. Doesn't mean that they're bad or wrong. You know, relationships can come to an end, not because they failed, but because they completed their journey and there's no more resonance anymore. And I feel like we also get to have a different relationship here with, you know, with this as we travel our gorgeous, you know, universe. We'll live in places, we'll work in places, we'll work with people, we'll co-create with people, and we'll have relationships with people. As long as there's resonance, rock on. If resonance shifts because our frequencies as we're ascending so fast shifts, or we've completed karmic contracts and completed, you know, certain things with those people, there's no right or wrong. Does this make sense? There's just, oh, we're not in resonance, we completed. Great, see you next life. I trust that serves as well. Beautiful, beautiful souls. Okay, taking a deep breath in and out. Allowing yourself to get comfortable. You can lie down if you like. And remember, if you do pass out through this, you can watch the recording, listen to the recording for the conscious transmission. Some people do pass out, and it's actually not a bad thing. It just means that, you know, it was the path of least resistance for you to receive the upgrades. Allowing yourself to come into a place of now, into the quantum now. Breathe into your heart. Tuning into your body. Breathing into your body, into every cell. Relaxing our cells, relaxing our muscles, our bones, our blood. Coming into a beautiful place of now. And now, I'd like you to feel into what's happening around the collective conscious shared reality, the realities created by the collective consciousness. I'd like you to feel into what's happening in your country first. Feeling into what's happening in your country. And then feeling into what's happening around the whole planet. Now, I'd like you to feel into all of that data, that your perception data, what you see, what you hear, what you taste, what you smell. I'd like you to experience now that all of that is actually held in by your consciousness, subconscious and conscious. It's held inside of a container, a grid work. Think of it like a compartment, that in order for you to even perceive these realities, space was created for this narrative, for this perception to be stored. And because you have this space that stores this narrative, you're able to experience this narrative, this perception, this experience, this reality. And now allowing yourself to see what you see, hear what you hear, feel what you feel. Allow yourself now to just tune into the container and feel the size of the container, feel the shape of the container. Experience the container, the grid work, the space where you store all of this. And now, my beautiful friend, calling in the Andromedan Council of Light, the architects of the beautiful galaxy. With the support of your soul family and the Andromedan Council of Light, you're now receiving the codes and the entrainment to be able to alter the size of this container. And so in your third eye vision, in your inner eye, I'd like you to simply grab in the quantum, in your inner eye vision, grab the ends of this container with your hands. And even if it's a large container, just trust you're in the quantum. You can do and be anything in the quantum. Grabbing the ends of this grid work, this shape, receiving the codes, to alter the fabrics of reality, the fabrics of quantum structures, to be able to alter this shape and size now. And on the count of 3, we're going to breathe into our hearts. And as we breathe out, we're going to expand this structure with our hands, which means that you're holding the ends, you're going to stretch your hands out as far as you can go, and you're going to stretch this infrastructure. So breathing in, 1, 2, 3, into our hearts. Breathe out and stretch. Stretching it wider and wider into the highest alignment that can be integrated now. Lock that in. Removing your hands, and now feel the structure, feel the space. Feel the space now. Notice what's different. Lock that in, lock that in, lock that in. And now allowing yourself to once again place into this field what's happening in your country, what's happening around the world. And notice how much or less space it now takes. Lock that in, lock that in, lock that in. Beautiful. At any given time, if you ever feel overwhelmed, you can always go in and tune into the container that you're storing that data and expand that container. Expand it and let it calibrate. Please know sometimes the integration on this can take up to a couple of weeks. And so for some of you, what we've just done, you'll integrate now. For some of you, you'll integrate this within the next minutes, hours, days. And some of you are going to take a couple of weeks to integrate this shift. Allow yourself to integrate it, to embody it, to transition, and you'll see that you'll be able to hold your frequency. You'll be able to hold your frequency of love and higher self so much more easily as other things are happening around the world, still with love, still with compassion. Yet to stay a sovereign being, not getting sucked into the collective frequencies. So you can create your own. Beautiful. And now, within the quantum, we're placing you into a beautiful chamber of light. This is a crystal chamber of light, and inside this crystal chamber of light is a liquid crystal bed. This is a bed made of liquid crystal, and so you're invited to sit or lie down on this bed now, and it will mold to your body. And inside of this chamber of light, in between dimensions, welcoming in the family of light from the 10th dimension, welcoming in the crystal family of light of the inner earth, welcoming in my beautiful family from the 12th dimension to share the codes of abundance of creation, joy, and play. And first receiving from the family of light from the 10th dimension, an expansion in your ability to hold light. Almost complete. Expanding your heart field for more access to your heart consciousness now. Beautiful. And now welcoming in from the beautiful beings of light, the gods and goddesses from the 12th dimension who are now sharing with you the code of joy, placing that into your field. It's an abundance code for creation with joy. Placing this into your field, allowing this to calibrate, calling in each of your soul families into each of your chambers to align the integration of these to your soul frequency. The beautiful crystal family of light from the inner earth is also supporting the embodiment into your physical cells to align you with Gaia even more. The next code of play is being added into the field, activating connection points to your inner child of play and joy, reigniting your joyful, playful innocence and enjoyment. This is what enables you even more to really appreciate what you have, to enjoy it, to have every cell experience it, to experience the beautiful pleasures and abundance of this world through your multidimensional senses, anchoring that through the chakras, running your energetics, and sharing into your field now the abundance codes of creation, the very specific ones of holding a dream, holding a timeline, to be a custodian of your dream, to be the mother, the father of a reality, to hold it with love, to hold it in your arms every day, to be there for that dream no matter what, to hold it regardless of what's going on, to just hold and hold and hold with love. These codes are now uploaded, calling in the divine abundance key code now into the field. Welcoming in the Lemurian Council of Light, who's supporting the integration of this into your field. Beautiful. And now, allowing yourself to melt through this liquid crystal bed as you melt into it, and it takes you straight onto the free planet, finding yourself somewhere in the depths of pure, pristine nature, lying there in nature, somewhere on the free world. Mountains, rivers, beaches. Find yourself wherever you are. Allow yourself to sync up and breathe one with Gaia now. Anchoring these new codes, anchoring this new self through all realities you're connected to, anchoring you into all the new realities you're now connected to. Beautiful. Allowing yourself to just be there for integration for a moment. Breathing into your heart and out. Beautiful. Activating your beautiful soul signature frequency into your field, in training more and more of your cells to be in alignment with this. Welcoming in the Bleeding Council of Light, the Lion Council of Light, the Turin Council of Light, the Blue Avian Council of Light now for the installation of the Diamond Shield. And now allowing yourself to receive this beautiful Diamond Shield quantum infrastructure all around you. If you feel to sit up or stand up to receive this, you can. If you feel to stay lying on earth, you can. Choose for yourself. This beautiful diamond infrastructure is all around you. All the fans are being calibrated to your unique frequency. Allow this to now be received. See, mata mata mataya. And first, the beautiful diamond shield is working inside of your field, calibrating your field. And with your permission, it is filtering out energies that are not yours, filtering out the collective consciousness frequencies that are not yours, for you to be sovereign, to co-create within your sovereign frequency, purifying your field. Some of you that are in intimate relationships, sending back the frequencies of your beloved to their field so you can be your field and feel your pure frequency. We're doing this so we can beautifully entrain the filtration system to be a match for your field, for your unique soul frequency field in resonance with you. And now, we're almost complete. All the fans and filters are calibrating to your beautiful, unique frequency. You are a fractal of source. You are a beautiful, delicious being of light. Anchoring, this also supports you to anchor your pure frequency onto the planet as you walk along her too. To anchor pure codes that when you share with others, the transmission is even more pure, even more refined. When you talk with others, it's more pure, more refined. For those of you on missions, supporting you to share your codes that you came to share on this planet. Beautiful. And now, my friends, we've been here in this free land, receiving this technology, calibrating it to your frequency, and it's almost complete. One more thing, please. And it's complete. Take a breath into your heart and out. Stay here for a moment. Now I want you to feel into what it feels like to be inside this technology. And please know that this technology is a living consciousness. So when you co-create with this technology, you can ask it, beautiful diamond shield, please filter this out. Beautiful diamond shield, going into the shops, please support me to only stay within my frequency. Beautiful diamond shield, whoa, the people that I'm talking to right now, I can, it's a bit dense. Can you please support the filtration of that? Sending them love. This is your friend. You're invited to make friends, to talk. This is a living consciousness. It will grow, evolve, and ascend with you. Every one of you will have slightly different functions because of who you are and this living consciousness. So please have love and reverence when co-creating with this beautiful consciousness. This is a friend, a quantum friend, who's with you whenever you need, to support you in your ascension, to support you through the transitional period that we're all taking right now on the planet. Beautiful. And slowly coming back into your bodies with this beautiful shield around you. Twiggling your fingers and your toes. Opening your beautiful eyes to look around your new world. Feel your friend all around you. And know that if you wish to, and I really do recommend, especially when you leave your home, to take your friend with you. If ever you find yourself, just in situations that aren't that lovely, ask your diamond shield friend to activate and purify your field. The more you co-create with your friend, the more you'll feel this, especially those of you that can really feel the difference, when going into cities and different places. And most importantly, it doesn't matter who the people are around our planet, vaccinated, not vaccinated. We are responsible for our frequency and our resonance. They can rock on and do whatever they want to. And this friend is supporting us to be in frequency resonance wherever we go during this big change and all these alternate frequencies being felt around the world. And so I'd love for you to share with me in the comments, how do you feel? Thank you, lots of love. Wow, thank you, that was intense. Thank you, you're welcome. And so you were taught how to go in and find the structure of where you store data and expand it to create more space so you can hold more and stay in your higher self embodiment. We can hold our higher self when there's abundance and space, and it's so much more delicious co-creating with higher self. The codes of abundance will take a few weeks to integrate, that was shared with you. And of course, this beautiful diamond shield friend. Activated, light activated, expansive, invigorated, spacious. Thank you. Love the diamond shield technology. Feeling serene. Yay. Thank you. Beautiful. Awesome. Oh, so great. And Jesse, if you'd like to jump back on, if you're able to jump back on and meet me. Hello.
Hello. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. Welcome back.
Beautiful. Wow. Thank you. That was amazing. Powerful, magical, transformational. Thank you so much. Everyone, I'm still a little bit spaced out at the moment, so I'm going to do my best to come back into the space. But yeah, thank you so much, Gabby. It's so needed right now, and I could share my experience with you guys, but I'll leave that to another day, because like I said, I'm still integrating. But I feel that it was everything that you just guided us through, and all of those technologies that you helped us activate within our field is so needed. And I think you already shared, I think you're just sharing this before I jumped on, but for those of the people that have, for those of you that have done something like this for the first time, talk a little bit more about integration. Like, what does it mean to integrate? Because I feel like not a lot of people talk about it, and I was talking a little bit about it last night. But yeah, maybe just share a little bit more about what integration means for the tribe that are watching now.
Awesome, thank you. So first up, really inviting that once we complete this segment, that you all go outside and connect and ground, because this will support you to embody the frequencies. Integration means an embodiment of frequencies, and often not everyone integrates what they receive, which means that a lot of it gets like it stays in their light bodies, which can receive everything straight away, and it doesn't actually integrate and embody because they don't allow themselves to do the things. So I love that you just asked this. And so the first thing I ask is that you go out in nature and connect with earth. Gaia will always support your integration. Spending more time barefoot, hugging her trees, really does support, especially with the intention of Gaia, please support me to stabilize these new frequencies. If you do this every day from every day of this summit, so big. And just, when we look at integration, where we are shifting and transforming, and we're shifting and transforming physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So what that means is spiritually, meaning like from a soul level, that what you're receiving in this whole summit is not just coming into you're then sharing it with every other version of you. And I'm talking through the quantum now, not even just all the Gabbies, all these past lives, your soul in other dimensions. Like there's so much more to us. So it's a multidimensional spiritual integration is this multidimensional. We all got it. Thank you. And we're receiving this from other versions of us too. So mental and emotional means to me, like emotionally and mentally, when we embody something, and physically when we embody something, we co-create with it. And so I'm asking for you to truly integrate this, emotionally, mentally, and physically. I really do invite you to go, you know what? I'm going to play around with expanding my containers. So if I was you, I'd be like, okay, I'm going to expand my container around money so I can hold more money. I'm going to expand my container about love so I can hold more love. I'm going to expand the container of the amount of love I can give to myself. And I would just expand. Every day I would expand another container. If you expand a container every single day for the next week, you'll have embodied this. And then the mental part of it is remembering to, it's like when something happens, that emotional mental is like your emotional and mental bodies are working together. Your mind then gives it to you as a resource. You feel something and your mind goes, here's a resource. If we're not mentally embodied, we will know something, but we won't use it when it counts.
Yeah.
And so this is where, to me, like, it's not enough just receiving something like this. When we actually use it, do our homework, we play with it, that's when mastery is achieved. That's when embodiments are achieved. So I invite you to play with all the gifts that you receive. And some of you, like, you're going to take ages to integrate all 7 days because there's so many gifts. Write them down. Make a little list of, okay, this week I'm going to play with these gifts. And if you take that on, man, whew, that's my take on that.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you so much. And I think it's so important because we live in such a fast-paced, information-dense, social media world with so much information that we have access to. And I think a lot of us have just been conditioned through constant stimulation, so we're always, our brains have kind of become wired to always seek like little dopamine hits through social media and whatever it is that we do in our day to get that quick stimulation. And sometimes that can lead us, we can almost like autopilot into distracting ourselves even when we're learning things. And that's what I've noticed through my own reflection. And we'll learn something or we'll go through a powerful process like we did today, and then we autopilot back into a distractive phase. So I love what you said. Consciously taking time to integrate, I think it's just like making it a conscious choice and a conscious process and a conscious practice. And I love what you said about expanding and playing with the gifts, because when you expand your awareness and your consciousness to a new aspect of yourself, or a new creative power that you've unlocked within yourself, you can experiment with it, right? And I feel like this week it's a manifestation portal, which means there's so much experimenting. You can utilize this container that we're all in, utilize the space, the conversations, the energy resonance, the synergy that we're all creating and co-creating together, and experiment with these concepts and these ideas and these technologies and these activations that we're receiving. And it's like what we were talking about at the beginning. It's like the training ground, right? But this is like a it's like a magic training ground. We get to receive these magical gifts, and we get to go out and practice and utilize them in our own unique ways. And that's the most powerful way to actually develop and, like you said, master those aspects of self more throughout your life. So thank you for your gifts.
Oh, you're welcome. And also reminding everyone with the diamond shield to like, really important, please get that quantum technology or anything I've shared on any of these transmissions is living consciousness. This isn't like it's not like this texter, in the third dimension. Living quantum technology is a living consciousness that's taken a form, just like we've taken form as human. And there's just really want to ground this, because if you talk to the diamond shield technology and you ask it for certain things, and you can actually go into meditation and go, teach me how else we can co-create, and you'll receive and you'll download, and it will teach you how to co-create with it. Get to know it like we get to know people. And this is such a profound thing. Mm-hmm. Also letting you know that this diamond shield technology is not just supporting you to be in resonance, it's also supporting others. So as we ascend, one of the things that we go through is purging a lot of subconscious hurts, pains, traumas. And it's like, some of us, like, depending on the rapidness of ascension, you could literally find yourself just constantly purging shit. Jesse, have you experienced that before?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And So I'm also sharing this because when you place this diamond shield on and you go out, your purge is also not getting dumped on other people. And that's nice too. So it's like, does this make sense? So this is supporting other people to have their own energy and us. And, you know, it's like if someone's got a lot of subconscious stuff going on or suppressing a lot of emotions, you don't pick up that passive aggressive, you know, like this actually supports you to stay in your frequency without you needing everyone to change around you to be perfect and behave a certain way so you can feel happy and vice versa. And I feel that's important. So if you're purging and you're going through something, please put this on so other people don't have to intercept your crap too. Lots of love.
Yeah, amazing. So needed right now during these transformational times when we're intercepting and interacting with all these different people and experiences and energies and emotions. So very, very powerful. Gabby, thank you so much for investing your time and your energy and your gift and your wisdom with the tribe. Where can the tribe find you if they want to learn more about you, and where do you hang out most when it comes to the cyberspace, the metaverse?
GabbyKowalski.com. Like, go to my website. There's literally a blog. There's a page called free resources, and there's so many free courses there. Plus, you'll find out more about my other stuff, like to work with me. And through here, I'm sure like Jesse's tagged me, and if he hasn't, I'm sure he will. You can just follow me on Facebook. Now, Facebook and Instagram, hang out on those a little bit. Otherwise, my website, go and play if you feel called. And
amazing.
So if you go into the search of this group, there's like a search in the Facebook group, and you type in Gabby Kowalski, you'll see the other transmissions that were delivered into this platform. And so if you dug this one, you'll most likely dig the others. And it's been a pleasure and honor. Thank you so much for co-creating, everyone. Sending you all so much love. Mwah.
Thank you. And before we wrap this up today, Gabby, is there any final message that you have on your heart? You've said a lot today, but is there any final message that you have that you want to share with the tribe before we close off this space?
Love you all so much. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up to this summit. Makes me so happy when I see people getting excited about raising their frequency, ascending, evolving. Thank you, because if it wasn't for you, the planet wouldn't be ascending and evolving. Thank you for being you. Thank you.
Amazing. Well, thank you, Gabby. I look forward to the next time we get to connect, and have an amazing rest of your day. And we'll see you very soon, okay?
Bye.
See you later.
Bye.
All right, family. How are we feeling?